We're live. Okay. Going to get you guys set up over here. Good. My computer is silenced. Let's go to pop out chat. Let's put the font size on old person. Okay. There we go. All right. So somebody yesterday wanted to make sure that I pulled the masks while I was live. So just for you guys, I didn't do any work all day. I really wanted to be in here, but I held back and I didn't do any work all day to make sure that I could pull these guys on a live video. That's the reason I'm given for why very little work was done. But we now have the evening to get work done. Baby powder, could be cornstarch, could be plaster, could be anything powdery that will stick to the latex so the latex doesn't stick to itself. This is the Gravedigger. It is its own unique sound when you pull a mask out of a mold. So this is the mask. Remember, it's still full of powder, so I'm going to pour that back into the bucket. Mr. Bucket. A bucket, Mr. Bucket.
Alan, can you send me the name and address of your extension vendor?
It's JBS Hair. If Scott is on, he'll post a link. Right now, I am busy, but possibly right after. Here is the Gravedigger mask.
Happy Easter and Hoppy Easter.
Why, thank you. It is a Hoppy Easter. So there we go. I think it was Spastic Pug who asked to have these guys done. Yeah. All right. So this needs to go on head form. Ooh, there's one. And let's pull the next mask that I poured up the other day. That was a Wolfman, who I'm pretty sure we had a very rainy day. I'm putting my finger down in his ears. Feels like it is ready, but I'm going to leave it. I'm going to pull this pumpkin.
Hey Alan, I thumbed up my fish man onto a spear today. It's cobwebs and candlesticks.
Awesome. Did the pipe help or did the pipe get in the way? Okay.
The pipe is perfect.
Wonderful. Now this mask has a lot of vines and stuff on it, so it's a lot grabbier than like the Gravedigger is. Alexa, what time is it?
It's 8:11 p.m.
I didn't ask for a Gravedigger, but I will definitely message for the carnivore when it's closer to being available. That is Spastic Pug.
That's not too far off. We're not too far off from having those available. The thing is that no one has ordered a carnivore. It was something I just wanted to make. So because of that, the things that have been ordered get priority. As it should be.
I looked up on the website for the extensions, but it did not lead me to a website per se, not one that I could order from.
Well, it's industrial. Remember that I order lots. Like I order lots of hair because I make a lot of masks. If you only want like 1 or 2 packages, find yourself an ethnic wig store. Pumpkin.
Is that for me?
Pumpkin for wife.
Another.
I will pin it up.
Needs me another.
Yeah, JBS Hair is in Atlanta, and they sell to salons and beauty shops and all that stuff, and wig stores. So, yes. Okay.
Hey, Alan, how can you tell if the mask is ready to pull? It's not too wet.
Color. Once it stops being like pure white, and then you push on it, and it's kind of spongy and not wet and sticky. And we just started some pouring rain.
Boy, this weather's nuts today. We've
Yeah.
got everything.
We'll see with the internet. If the Wi-Fi is bad.
There are tornadoes here, so start placing bids on my corpse, y'all. It's Plastic Ninja. Hey, we got him too, man.
What area are you in?
He's in Atlanta.
Oh.
Or he's in Georgia. It's closer to me.
He's in a hot lot.
It's
All right.
storming here too.
Let me put these guys away. What are you eating? Holly. Where's that come from?
North Georgia.
What's that?
He's in North Georgia. Understand, I too plan on using 200 extensions. That is Twisted Endings Productions. So,
Oh, good. Yeah, you can call them, you can message them. I use the She brand extensions. That's the biggie. Once you know the name, they can help you out. Okay. So as usual, I have to do a little bit of organizing before I start right up on my project. I was not a good boy, and I left a little weirdly yesterday. Oh, oh.
see this mighty.
Another thing that's tough is that, just like I was just saying, sometimes, I buy latex. I used to buy it by the drum, and that's not a good resource for home haunters who want to get into stuff. But so you sometimes deal with different sources of things. Sourcing materials is one of the biggest challenges we face as effects artists. Who was asking about the hair, honey?
That is Twisted Endings Productions.
Twisted, shoot me a message. Facebook is easier, but you could shoot me a message on YouTube. I might not see it until tomorrow, unfortunately. My dog found some jingle bells, and it wants to move them, but every time it moves them, it makes noise, and it scares her. So.
She's brave.
Right. Chicken dog.
Plastic Pie's gonna message you for that corner board.
Okay. When last we were hanging out, I think I made a werewolf. I don't have to do that tonight. I don't have to, but it's always a good time to make a werewolf.
Plastic Ninja says also, my corpse comes with the key to my Halloween storage units. It's a combo offer.
Sweet. Sold. Okay.
They're wild.
Wild about
Well,
is the
they've
problem.
had a nap is what the problem is.
When my dogs are sleepy, I don't mind having them in the shop because they come in, they lay down. When they're not tired, they're like, what's this? What's this? What's that taste like? What's this? What's that taste like? And I spent my whole life going, that's not yours. Put that down. Put that down. That's mine. Don't touch that. Don't eat that. I They don't eat that a lot. Okay, like right now. That is Bella. Oh, she heard her name.
Yeah, she knows.
It's like, oh, he caught me. And she was chewing on a plaster head form. Plaster head form. And now she wants forgiveness. I give you no forgiveness.
Was she the one who was chewing on your nose earlier?
That was Cheney.
Oh.
Dogs are nuts.
Is the endings would like to know now, is that on your channel or on YouTube?
You can message me almost anywhere. Easiest way, send an email to stiltbeaststudios@gmail.com. That is the channel. Do you make like a lot of masks? Is that what you do? I would love to see them. Yeah, I think hair extensions is definitely the way to go as far as carrying a mask. One of the last couple of lives, I haired a few gravediggers. It only took me like, 20, 25 minutes a piece. And that's ridiculous fast for a mask. I was sewing last time.
He says, Ian, yes, as a startup and not having the time in the industry as you have, it is difficult sourcing vendors, and that is why I ask at every opportunity, which of course I appreciate.
Oh, I will gladly help. I don't keep that stuff secret, really. It's not what I do.
Kelly Stanford, I adore your stuff. I have tons of ideas, but I have issues with transferring what's in my head to a. It's frustrating, as I don't think I have the skills.
The problem is you're probably relying too much on your ideas. What the way to fix that is sculpt a few things without ideas and rely on visual reference. Let visual reference tell you what to do. Let visual reference tell you what the next step is in your sculpture. Pick something. I always recommend starting with a human skull and sculpt that human skull and get that, sculpt that and use, one or two references to dial it in and get it right. Because that is, you'll rely on that sculpture and that muscle memory of making a skull the whole time you sculpt. It is that important. So tonight, we're going to finish off some gravediggers. I got 3 here to turn into head socks. I've got 3 that are head socks to hair. So
I've come to realize you're one of the first YouTubers I've watched. I didn't have a personal computer until like 2010. Jordan Easel, did you get my Julia story?
I did. I wrote you back. That's a really good story. I enjoyed that. That was nice. I just scared myself. Went to pick up something off my counter. It's a June bug.
Oh, no.
So
Classic Ninja. I'm also really into streamlining my setup and storage unit. It makes it that way. He's talking about that he's got a lot of stuff.
yes, I too suffer I have a lot of stuff problem.
What sewing machine do you use, and has it been a good one?
Singer, heavy duty. It's been a good one. I bought 4 or 5 of them over the years, but I've been sewing well over 20 years. And I like the Singer heavy duty.
I like hearing complete gravediggers. Plastic Ninja. He's ready. I'm telling you.
Yeah, well, that's the kicker. This weekend, I'm getting them ready, and we'll ship out, 7 or 8 of them on Monday. Okay. So close to the table clean, and then I'm going to fill it back up with stuff. Hooray.
Big Dog says, I need the room for making stuff.
Yes. You know what? I have a shop that is roughly the size of the house we used to live in. And when I say used to, I mean 3 years ago. And it's full. You know, it's still full. I still fight for space. You will always fight for space. I think one of the definitions of an artist is someone who will fill the space that they are in. Bella, out of there. None of that's yours. Bella, come on.
Okay, I just completed a 6-month professional makeup artist program recently. Now I'll be attending a theater production program after we go back to normal. And I have been following you 2012. This is Twisted Endings Production.
Very cool. What theater, what makeup class did you go to?
And I met you at Transworld.
Awesome.
Jordan would like to know what your favorite aspect of his story was.
Well, now that I'm having to remember it, that's difficult. I remember at the time reading it and liking it. I remember that he fixed injustice, and it was colonial times. I liked that. I liked when it was set. I don't know.
I also enjoy sewing as well. Not many people do it. My shop is a 10 by 20 with a third loft.
That's cool.
How big was your old shop in the garage?
It was
At Sweetwater.
16 foot by 18 foot
For 13 years.
for 13 years.
Boy, I tell you.
And I had it packed to the gills.
Oh my gosh. Do you do custom masks, and how much?
I do custom masks when I have time to do custom masks. And they're going to be, if it's a half mask, normally it's $150, and if it is a full head, it is $350. That is if I keep the mold and I can make and sell them whatever, like your color scheme, your hair work that you wanted in the first place, I would not redo for someone else. But the mold I could pour up and use for different things. So if you wanted, say, no, Alan, I want you to make this for me, and then only for me, then that half mask is going to cost $350, and a full head is going to cost $550. So there you go. That is if I'm only going to make the one, and it's just for you. Because I can recoup the cost if I get to sell it down the road.
I like that as soon as you look away, Bella walks back into that room.
You know what? I'm not fooled by her. She's a terrible dog.
Oh, she is.
She's not even a good dog at all.
And yet,
I will keep her.
we love her.
That's a way to put it. Here's a test cornivore. This cornivore is going to go up on the website because it's a test paint. Now this mask will be $125. It's a full head latex mask. That makes it $100. And there is another mask for it that is, that adds. So this will be $125, but this guy is going to go up for $100. And Shannon is looking at me like I should not have said that.
No.
Okay.
What I'm doing is I've got to write that down, because otherwise later on I'll ask you, and I want to make sure that you remember.
How much full head mask is?
It's going to be $100.
And this adds 25. Just like if we were adding horns or hair or whatever. I'm so close to being able to work. Now, do we want to hair first? If I hair Gravediggers first, I'll have to find something to do for an hour while that silicone sets. You know what? We're going to make sock masks first. I've decided. I'm full of decidery.
Okay.
Some might even say I'm full of decideriness.
George would like to know if you've done any sheet ghost orders.
I have not done any. That's actually not true. There is some kind of a Michael Jackson video where he has ghosts that fly around during one of his songs. I think it was the Michael Jackson live performance that they did. And it's ghosts that fly around, and they're rod puppets. And I did a couple of those many years ago. So I have done some sheep. They were sheep ghosts. I did not use fabric because they were on 20-foot poles, so they had to be super light. I used the polyethylene sheeting that you pack things with. It's light, it's white, and it's very wispy. I use that stuff. Got to find my third
Twisted Ending
hand.
Productions and Schools was Cosmic School of Makeup Artistry in South Florida.
Cool. Neat.
Vic Springston says, I finally got my video up on the medieval horse.
Awesome.
Darren means, I'm a teacher and have discussed starting a haunt with a friend. Instead of buying masks, I decided to try my hand at making them. You have the best videos out there.
Thank you. I try to make it so other folks can do it.
How much? Oh, go ahead.
It may not be the best business strategy for me to teach exactly how I do things and what I use, but I don't mind the marketplace being decided by who has the best ideas. I'm confident in the ideas that I have, so I don't mind doing it that way. People who don't want people to know their secrets, maybe they're not so confident in their ideas. Go ahead,
How
Never
much
White.
to make a Ghidra mask and 2 hand puppets for the other 2 heads?
Let me guess. Plastic Ninja.
Here we go.
So, what I would do is all of the Toho stuff. It was not sculpted. It was sculpted, but it was built up. So I would do it. I would do the bulk of the body out of foam, like couch foam, and then I would do some EVA foam details and a latex and cotton batting skin over it. And you put your details in that latex and cotton batting. That is how I would do it. How much? That would be fairly expensive because that's a big project. You're probably talking $800 or $900 in that neighborhood.
My dodgy Wi-Fi connection makes it look like Alan was teleporting around the shop.
Cool.
Do you have any experience with flying actors? If so, do you have any pointers?
I assume you mean stunts and not actual actors who fly. That is my assumption. Tell me if I'm wrong on that guy. Yes, we do a lot of stunt rigging and stuff at Dark Hour. So we've done lots of setups. How did that question end?
If so, do you have any pointers?
Yes. Don't cheap out on your harness. Don't cheap out on anything. And if you can, run everything you're doing by a rigging professional. Someone who does professional rigging. We have one effect in Dark Hour. The actor runs around on the walls. We built a round room, and then the actor is able to run around the wall. And that was built by Z something. I think they're Kentucky. Anyway, I forget their name right now because I don't deal with them every day. I mean, of some of the rigs you can build yourself. Some of them you really want to. You just want to not do that. Yeah. And we actually get a really good harness from Granger. It's about, the harness itself is about $470, but it's a full harness, it's padded, it's nice.
My shop is a 3-car garage, and I have 2 10 by 10 storage units, one of which is a paint distressing booth. The booth is where I store the props I make and have purchased.
Who's that?
Twisted Endings Productions.
You got a nice shop, man. That sounds lovely.
Have you received any sheet ghost orders yet? I bet more people would request that if they knew how scary it could be.
Jordan, didn't you ask this question 5 minutes ago?
I have to find something to do for an hour. Meet every time an hour passes in the quarantine. That's spastic.
Oh no, there's so much to do.
Mr. Jimmy says, I work out of an 8 by 16 shop.
You do. You've got like a woodshed that you go into. I've seen some of your lives.
The theater production program covers set design, costume design, and makeups, and sound and lighting.
Cool.
What are you making?
Gravedigger masks.
Alan, I've got to thank you. I started watching your videos years ago, and the techniques I've learned from you recently got me a job doing nerdy D&D type stuff. You're awesome, dude.
Hey, that's cool.
That's great.
That's great. I know of a couple people now who have started careers from YouTube Wednesday stuff.
Like your dog.
I have 3. I have 3 puppies. They're all about 5 months old. And they're all terrors.
Into everything.
Yeah. Like right now, I wish they were sleepy. I want to give them some Valium.
Have you made any articulated masks recently?
Yes. Did a werewolf a while. I do a lot of moving jaw stuff. So, yeah, they're very much still pups. I happen to see that one.
Yeah. They're not even 6 months old yet.
Yeah, they are half Great Danes and half Springer Spaniel.
I have made 3 sculpts, molds, and pools now in this quarantine. I made 2 up and 1 based on the movie The Hills Run Red. I would love to show you and hear your thoughts. Thanks, man.
Absolutely. I get emails or messages every day of people wanting sculpt critique and advice and helping them get to the next step. So I'm more than happy to do that. Again, just email stiltbestudios@gmail.com. Send your pictures there.
Everyone appreciates that you share your knowledge and secrets. I, for one, enjoy helping others build and make different things. Thanks for all that you do. That's Vix Princeton.
Well, I am happy to. I am very lucky. I kind of grew up at the same time the internet was growing up, and we sort of got to decide what it was, how it was used. And I was on some very early haunted house chat groups and email lists, and very much we had a spirit of sharing that was pretty wonderful.
This isn't exactly a career, but many of your videos have helped me make the props in my high school productions of Shakespeare Abridged.
That's awesome.
Is it just me, or do I feel like the whole is a dangerous thing for us haunted houses? I keep on coming up with crazy and expensive ideas.
Yes, that is the danger. But it's also a great time for you to practice and say, okay, what can I do for my haunted house today? What can I get done that points me in that goal? A lot of people are, they say, what can I do for my haunted house right now? If you have a pro haunted house, learn Spanish. It's free. That will help you immensely in your marketing and stuff. But yeah, I mean, there's lots you can learn SketchUp. You have time. Learn. I'm not going to beat anybody up for, for not learning. Yeah, sure, people are freaked out and scared, but can you be scared for 3 weeks? Can you be scared for a full month? I can't. I don't have that kind of energy. But if I turn that into being proactive, that helps me.
Next step is convincing my boss to open a haunt so I can really have my dream time. But we get to see an articulated mask stream someday.
If you look on my videos, I have a playlist for the Khajiit mask, Khajiit, Khajiit, and in that series, I make a moving jaw mask start to finish. I've also made several moving jaw werewolves on live stream, so I show that quite a bit. Is that what you mean when you say articulated?
I do feel sharing techniques does help create the sense of a community.
Oh, absolutely. It does.
James Minnick says hello.
Hello, James Minnick.
Putting new stuff into the world can be very therapeutic.
One of my little rules is produce more than you consume.
Can you bring the camera up a little closer so they can see what you're doing?
Yes.
You are far off.
I just wanted them to see everything.
Well, if they're seeing this a little closer.
I did learn from YouTube, 80% of the people watch on their phone. And I thought, yes, I look tiny. Awesome. What was I talking about?
Sharing information. One of your rules.
Oh, yeah, produce more than you consume. If I'm going to watch movies for 2 hours, then I want to make stuff for 2.5 hours. Just, make more. Bella, no. No. No.
No.
Big roll of fur here, and she wants to chew on it so bad.
Said sure, something more involved like full animatronics as far as the
I think I did Demigorgon on live, and he opened and closed and stuff.
You got to spray the dog.
I'm about to spray the dog. I'm making sure this is water. It's alcohol. I can't spray the dog with this.
Spray that. Make sure it's not bleach or alcohol. I think that. Sorry, Daddy.
Not yours.
She knows too. Where did you get the yellow head form from?
That dog is the devil. It's a regular head form that I painted.
I left the devil mask to dwell for 2 hours, but there was a few thin areas. Should I leave it in for longer or pour it out after the first?
Yeah. My guess, it might have been a wet day. If the mold already has moisture in it, then it can be thinner. It's not going to draw as much. So you might go a little bit longer. The mold teaches you, how to pour it. Where were there air bubbles? And then that teaches you how to tilt it and rock it around.
What are your thoughts on a vortex tunnel in a bar or a laser swamp?
In a bar? I would say, well, that'd be interesting. Like, I don't think of those as bar things, but I don't go to bars. A vortex tunnel in a bar sounds like a terrible idea because of, people drinking and they already have some perception issues, and I could just see that being a bit of a nightmare.
If you drink enough, any bar has a vortex tunnel.
Yeah, every bar is a vortex tunnel. I was weird. I was a wolf man at a bar in Orlando called Jenny Lane Sunset Strip, downtown Orlando. Boris, no, don't eat my oven. Called Jenny Lane Sunset Strip. And my job was, I was a wolf man on rollerblades who handed out free admission flyers for the bar so people could get in. And to get in and out, there was a door that was at street level, but the nightclub was actually on the 3rd floor. And there was one long thing of steps. It wasn't like a curvy flight. It was one long thing of steps to get in and out. which yes, I went up and down all the time on rollerblades. And so that was the sobriety test on the way out the door. If they made it down the steps, they were okay.
Jordan thinks your dog is drunk.
Oh, yeah, probably. They're crazy.
Latex and the mold was in the house overnight. As far as this big dog talking about the thin spots.
It doesn't matter if it's in the house or out of the house. It matters the humidity. Because if it's raining outside, there's still high humidity in your home.
With this virus, it has set me back a couple of months. I don't think I can complete my full haunted attraction. I do think I can complete a torture device museum attraction. What are your thoughts?
Well, what would this be for? I've helped set up a couple of those at Renaissance festivals, but I don't know if a torture device museum. Now, if you're in a historical place, that might be cool. I think it depends on where you're at. I don't know if that's something that people seek out, but it very well could be. I remember when I was researching all of the torture devices and things, and it was so depressing. I'm like, I'm just tired of seeing and reading these books. They were rough.
Living history as such. The torture museum.
Yeah, if you have a place to do it. Standalone living history doesn't normally, I don't look at those and think they're really raking in the Benjamins. But I've set them up at Scarborough Fair. I helped build them for King Richard's Fair.
Was it the Bay Area Renaissance Festival too?
Oh yeah, Bay Area Renaissance Festival in Florida.
Jordan says, I haven't done any commissions since this plague reached the country. Paul Rhodes, did you say you purchased something on Khajiit? Sorry, I missed it. No,
I made a Khajiit mask, and there's a playlist for the Khajiit mask on my YouTube channel, which you are watching my YouTube channel right now.
People are watching on Easter Sunday.
76 people?
On Easter Sunday.
That's awesome. I'm so happy I'll leave the room. Had to get a stool. I've not abandoned you. So I'm trimming up this Gravedigger mask so that I can. These other two are painted. This one's not painted. This will be 3, 4, 5, 6. This will be 7 Gravediggers. Ready? 8 actually, because one's already done over there.
Will you do an arm candy accessory build on YouTube Live?
I probably won't for a while. It'll be a year or two before I do that. If you look at it, you can figure it out. But right now, that's an income stream for me. So I will probably hold off on that. And really, it's not even me. It's that's something that Rob makes. I have given him the idea. I made it about 10 years ago. No, 8 years ago. And then I stopped making them. And I let Rob pick up making them again. But I think that line's going to stick around a while. And when I was making the fabric deranged masks, I don't do those live while I'm, one of the only ones doing it. Once other people pick up and start doing that, then I can back off a little bit.
One day, can we have a Q&A with Carl Cleaver?
Sure. We can do that.
Jordan would like to know if you believe in miracles.
Do you believe in miracles? You sexy mask's a thing. Yes, of course. Sure.
Ivan Forrest.
I believe in Bigfoot. I believe in aliens. I believe in the Loch Ness Monster. I believe the children are our future. Teach them well, let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a place to hide.
Okay.
And let the children's laughter remind us how it used to be.
Oh.
I decided long ago.
Okay.
All right, carry
I'm
on.
happy to hear and see you, said Ivan Forrest.
I'm happy to be seen.
Not heard. Has the cold front hit Dallas?
Yes, it's nippy out there now.
I love watching your videos. You taught me some really cool stuff. Not
Thank
saying-
you. I apologize that sometimes I sing.
The Easter Bunny came. I told him I had to leave. Alan is live. Happy Easter. The Loch Ness Monster keeps asking me for tree fitty.
Tree fitty. You got tree fitty.
I bit Bigfoot's arm.
Okay.
Hello, Rodney Pope. Paul Rhodes is laughing at your singing. No, he says he loves your singing.
Hooray. See, wife,
Okay.
they're appreciative. Unlike some people
Okay.
that I marry. Okay. Sorry. You get a chance to yell at your wife.
Just let the man sing.
Ha! You don't hold the man down. Is this a weird shot right now? Am I like in a forest of heads? Because I don't want it to be weird. I also don't think you guys like it when I keep moving the camera around quite a bit.
I bit Bigfoot's arm. He was hanging on the side of my sister's car. You should make a
Cool.
shirt that says, I have to go, Alan is live.
Okay.
Shot puppy.
Yes, there
Hey.
are.
Says, hey, he hasn't sung in a while. This is not true. This is not true. You just haven't heard him sing in a while.
Right.
But let me tell you, he sings all the time, and I love it.
So this mask, I'll have to make a sock mask and then paint, which is fine.
What when painting, do you have a preference between different colored latex?
Wait.
When painting, do you have a preference between different colored latex?
I base everything I paint black because I prefer dry brushing. I make masks for haunted houses. My masks are masks first and sculpture second. You're going to see out of the eyes, you're going to be able to breathe, and it's going to be comfortable. So that's my big factor. And because of that, because I am providing for haunted attractions, I know that these are going to be seen and used in low light conditions. So I paint them for low light conditions. I paint them so that they have high contrast and they will stand out. And you will kind of know what you saw.
So I mean white versus black. And you just answered that.
Yep, I start black and then I work from there. Now every now and then I will start white if it is going a different direction. Most of the time I want to base in black.
He's not yelling at me, guys. This was a joke. We're playing.
Are they getting flack? Am I getting flack for yelling at my wife? What are they saying?
This is weird when you're yelling at your wife and getting away with it.
Yeah. If you ever get a chance to get away with it, do that.
I don't work with gore, but if I did, I'd base it with gum pink before the red.
Yeah, then you can add darks and you can add lights. I mean, you want to start with something defined and then build one way or the other. You can start with it light and then add your depth, add your shadows, or you can start with it black and then add your highlights. I prefer to start with it black and then add my highlights and such.
Have you done a Wendigo yet?
I've done a couple different Wendigos. I've done white hairy Wendigos and I have done deer head Wendigos.
I love it when you check the heat gun.
Every time. Every time. So now, Alexa, countdown, 6 minutes.
6 minutes, starting now.
we have to kind of wait for that to happen. So we're going to look at hats, and we're going to add strapping. I'm going to grab my hot glue gun.
Is that done by dry brushing?
Yes. I always dry brush first, and then I can go back in and add some subtle shading with a airbrush.
What is the best way to cover the eyes when foam filling a mask?
Masking tape from the inside. Big 2-inch thick wide mask. And that's a good plug. That is the subject of the video for YouTube Wednesday. It is a third way to foam fill a mask, or make a prop head out of a mask, or make a mannequin head out of a mask.
The front mannequin in the shot looks like he is the Spanish Inquisitor.
Yes.
He's the Spanish Inquisition.
No one suspects.
Hey guys, I need to remove dried cement from dry latex paint without hurting the latex. I have to be gentle enough to do that.
Xylene. I would go xylene. And I would not like soak it. I would wet some paper towels with xylene and lay it on top and let that kind of seep in. Xylene is a thinner for contact cement, but it does not, it's not as harsh on the latex as naphtha is. Not only do you have to plug in your hot glue gun, you also have to turn it on. Don't forget that.
What time is your YouTube Wednesday video on?
It's actually, it goes live midnight Tuesday.
Which is Wednesday, really.
Which is technically midnight Tuesday is Wednesday, my wife says. I don't think it's the next day until I have actually slept.
That's true, but I don't want them tuning in Monday
Right.
night at midnight thinking that it's coming
Right,
out
it's Tuesday night. Be ready at 11:59 p.m. for 12 o'clock a.m. Wednesday, and you're good to go.
Are you going to fuse faces to heads?
Yes. Yes, the one thing I love to do is fuse faces. That's a good way to put it. Alexa, add silver metallic jacquard ribbon to my shopping list.
I've put silver metallic jacquard ribbon on your shopping list.
Jacquard. She says it's so uncivilized.
I'm in Jersey. What's the time difference?
You are forward of us 1 hour. So if it's 11 here, it's midnight there.
Michelle Schulte says, oh my god, now I have a shopping list.
Hooray!
Or as we say in California, it's YouTube Late Tuesday.
Yes.
It's true. Hey, Jonesy. Hi, buddy. You have a kitty.
Now a cat has entered the shop. Cats and dogs creating together. Mass hysteria.
Always turn off your ALEXA when Alan is alive. Are you
Yeah.
going to fuse faces to those hoods? Yes. Jordan.
Yes. Yes. Jordan, you gotta keep up with us, man. I'm moving at the speed of hot glue.
Ezekiel says it's YouTube Thursday there.
YouTube Thursday. Sorry.
Do you recommend a good pair of scissors?
Yes. Yes, I do. You can get these from, I get them from Tandy Leather. These are Stolman leather cutting shears. But I can cut paper with these, and then I can cut a penny in half. I can cut Abraham Lincoln out of a penny, and then I can go back to cutting paper. These are really nice scissors.
I have a Frankenstein monster mask you want to film.
Cool. Yeah, masking tape inside, tape the eyes, you should be fine.
Best leather scissors are the best. They're very strong.
They really are. Okay, that's a few strips of ribbon.
Yes, you hear a shop cat.
Of ribbon.
Tell him that Jonesy is here.
Jonesy is here. Jonesy is an orange kitty. He's an orange tabby like the kitty from Aliens, and his name is Jonesy. I'm going to pick him up, possibly at great peril,
No.
because he's not the friendliest kitty.
He's just edgy.
He is. He's a nervous kitty.
He's a nervous kid.
So if I have him picked up and,
Gently.
hey buddy, if I have him picked up and the air compressor kicks on,
You're gonna
he
die.
would freak smooth out.
Alexa, stop.
There we go. There we go.
This is Jonesy.
I have a nice purr.
You do.
There we go. That's Jonesy the kitty.
Jonesy the cat back here on the table. Yay, a kitty! Everybody's excited about a kitty. I know.
Y'all
He's
are
a good
so
boy.
you're so easily amused.
He does look like Morris. I was watching a live stream the other day when the host said, nice and clear, ALAXA, play Who Let the Dogs Out. And of course, everyone's ALAXA went off.
Yeah, that happens. Sometimes I'll say stuff like, hey, blank, set an alarm for 4 a.m.
How
Oh,
do
big old jerk.
How do I make the cheeks look sucked in? On a Frankenstein mask? Jim, am I following
Well,
you?
when your foam is still soft, you push the cheeks in. I mean, that is, I hate to be that guy, but that's the answer that you need.
I think the mask has already been made, so.
Yeah. Just put, when you're foaming it, you push the cheeks in. Because the foam is going to be malleable for a while, even a hard foam.
Everybody loves the kitty.
That's how they work.
That's Jones.
Because they're on the internet, and the internet is crazy for cats.
All the pets end up coming in here to say hello.
That's because if you're here and I'm here,
They want to be here.
yes.
Ninja, did I miss anything?
Well,
We're picking something.
yeah, we're making masks, but there's always more masks to make.
Oh, my goodness.
Just a bit of hot glue, and I only hot glue the band to the hat in one area, because like the band is a chance for people to personalize the hat. This is very big on me, but
I miss doing my own yard hunt.
the band is a chance to personalize. Maybe you want different colors, and you can just take this off easy then, and do your chrome. Do your chrome hat. This is a smaller hat that I made for someone who says I have a small head. So this hat actually fits me.
Possibly going to make a witchy poo costume.
Okay. That's very Sid and Marty Crofty.
Edward Littleton is here. Have seen the Friday the 13th tape.
I did. I looked it up. I saw the Friday the 13th table. I looked at several different types and styles. I especially liked the big one that had the full Jason inside. I think you could just call it a character table. And that character happens to be Jason. But yes, I looked them up.
I was thinking of adding a gray jewel to the band of mine, keeping it black and white. This is Plastic Ninja, who
Cool.
we are shipping out this week. What the heck?
And I make little foam tombstones for the hats too. Maybe I'll do that tonight.
Well, I gotta get you some skeleton heads. Storm hit. And you collect it. We have 82 people watching on
82?
Easter Sunday.
Yeah, making that top I have a pattern for that top hat now. I want to make a couple Mad Hatter masks. Maybe I'll take my clown mask that I do, that sculpt, and make a Mad Hatter. That might be fun.
Could be fun. Do you have a video on how to make and use monster mud?
Monster mud? No,
Monster mud.
because there are 50 other videos on how to make monster mud. So I haven't done one. It is, you buy a 5-gallon bucket of drywall joint compound, take out 1 gallon of it, pour in 1 gallon of black latex house paint, mix it all together with a good mixer on a drill, and that is monster mud. So that's it. Yes.
Did you expound on the Friday the 13th tables?
You want me to expound on the Friday the 13th
They
table?
would like to know, what did you think about the Friday the 13th tables? I want you to talk about this.
They were cool.
No, that's not enough.
It's a table. It's got Jason in it. Sometimes it's got Jason from here up in it, and it looks like the wood is busted out. I mean, they're normally finished pretty well. That's a Friday the 13th table. But that could be any character in there. It's a neat table with a dude in it.
I always wanted to make my own little Alice in Wonderland short film.
You know what? I have a whole costume line themed for Alice in Wonderland that I will eventually do. Because it's cool.
Big Dog. The Beast Haunted House here in Kansas City has the Stuntman Jump, two-story jump. Stuntman Jump, two-story jump. And Edge of Hell Haunted House has a 5-story slide.
Yeah. Slides are more common, but they're not as common as they used to be. In the 70s, they were big. But people get
But the
maimed.
jump is a stuntman.
Yeah, the jump is a
not a
stuntman,
patron.
not patrons. Honey, remember that time where I made 5 or 6 Gravedigger hats?
Yes?
Do you have them in the other room?
Look over your head.
Ha ha! I was looking for my Gravedigger hats.
When I was little, I wanted to be an astronaut, but my mom told me the sky was the limit. That's John Royski.
Fill in for Ross.
Filling in for Ross, exactly. Big Dog says no, it's for the guests. The guests are jumping out of a 2-story.
Okay, is that in the haunted house, or is that a second thing that you can pay for?
He has a costume line. What is it called, and where can I get them?
Well, Still Beast Studios has most of my stuff. That's at my website, stillbeaststudios.com. But I haven't done the costume line for Alice in Wonderland yet. But all the characters are in my head, and I'm ready to go. I might do that next year.
What should I use on glue hair on a prop head that'll be attached to a pneumatic mech?
Contact cement will probably do it.
I'm going to put I'm going to put part 8 at my table, but it's going to be different. This is Edward Littleton talking about the
Okay.
Friday the 13th. I've got 2 mask ideas, and one of them I'm still debating on what I should be for Halloween, a pumpkin monster or coronavirus monster.
I would go with Pumpkin Monster because I'm already sick of hearing about the coronavirus, and I guarantee you by Halloween, almost everybody is going to be sick of hearing about the coronavirus.
Okay, Big Dog says that patrons jump out the window and that you jump out a door to the next street.
I gotcha, but is that like an upcharge thing where it's a second ticket? Or is that just like a part of the haunted house? Because like some haunted houses have zip lines and stuff on their property, but it's not in the haunt.
Cheshire Cat would be cool.
Yeah. Cheshire Cat, Caterpillar,
Big
there's a
Dog,
lot of cool characters.
I don't understand. Nope, part of the show. So you're saying that every patron jumps out of a 2nd-story building onto a balloon pad, a stunt pad.
I'm gonna call him tomorrow. Talk to him.
I can't see what you're doing.
That's why I had the camera backed up.
Just
Put it back.
do you have a Blu-ray box set of Universal Monster movies? And if so, is it a good set?
I do. It came out a couple. Well, you know what? Actually, I have a box set, but I also have the individuals where they re-released them. They did a re-release, and they did a box set. And yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of extra footage and stuff on it, but it's good. I like extras on my DVDs.
Had an idea for a caterpillar mask, but was not Alice related then.
Just a random caterpillar. All right. Ding. Need to get the. I'll do the tombstones by hand. There's a little tombstone here's hat.
Oh. If Retro Halloween is coming back, then it's time to rewatch the Paul Lynde Halloween special. That's awesome.
Paul Lynde.
Halloween special. That's great.
I don't know if I know that one.
I have them all myself. I love those movies.
And as soon as I'm done with this, it'll be time to start attaching the masks to the head forms.
Sorry I asked this before, but I forgot who posted it. Where can we see the walkthrough of the black and white haunted house?
It is on my YouTube channel, and I think it's called Black and White Walkthrough.
It's 2016.
2016, oh, it says. A little dab will glue you.
Just been Googling some rigging equipment while watching this, and dang, the stuff is expensive.
Yes, but that's because you want people to live. Please don't do it half-cocked. There's some things that you can get away with going cheaper, like just the bungee rig where they jump out and come back. Those I can get that whole rig built for $350, $400. But if it's something where the actor is high up in the air, you really want a good thing for them. Harness, setup, cable. The carabiners have to be perfect. They have to be right. I mean, because that's Lawsuit City.
I know you mentioned this a live stream or three ago, but what is the hat band pattern called?
This is a jacquard. It is metallic. This is metallic 1.25 inch jacquard ribbon. See that metallic thread in there? And that's what it looks like on the back. And I just think this makes really great hat bands.
Watch out, kitty.
I see that kitty.
Big Dog says when you go to the beast haunt, you can jump or take the chicken out route. No upcharge.
Interesting.
Plastic Ninja says the Lugosi Dracula is the only Universal monster movie I'm deeply attached to. I know that's sacrilege.
The Lugosi Dracula, it's good. It's not my favorite, but Dracula's not my favorite. I prefer Dracula to the Lugosi Dracula. All right, so let's do some
It's
Maxi
an
masks.
obscure special that's planned, that it has the original Witchy Poo and Wicked Witch as well as Betty White and the band Kiss as guests. It's so cheesy. That's great.
Yeah, for a long time I was kind of a purist, and I wanted all of my Halloween stuff to be scary. Like I was against the Charlie Brown special. I was against, all of it that wasn't like raw.
I had a latex wolf mask that was not near heat, but it melted. It was a store-bought mask that might have done it to make it disintegrate, melt.
Sunlight is the most likely culprit. Sunlight. Sunlight is really bad for latex masks.
It never happened to me with the other mask.
Sunlight is bad. Our sweat is bad. And it may not have been spandex. I mean, it may not have been latex. It may have been vinyl. So it all depends.
Where can I get a shirt that you have on?
This shirt I have on, this is my friend Cora actually sells them. If you shoot me an email, I can get you in contact with the right person.
True fact, Lugosi was so poor that Frank Sinatra paid for his funeral. He was buried in one of his Dracula outfits.
I knew that.
I do scary only outside and cute stuff inside, Plastic Ninja.
How dare you?
Alan, what excuse me. What was the name of the company you get Halloween shirts from? You wear them quite a bit.
Hauntshirts.com. And if you mention my name, you get nothing. Because that's how I get treated.
Hey Alan, what is best in life? I'm hoping
To crush your enemies, have them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of their women.
They wanted an Arnie impression. You answered too quickly.
I'm sorry. Well, maybe next time they'll get the Arnie.
Hoping you do an Arnie impression. You didn't.
It could happen. And now that you mentioned it, it's going to be in my subconscious.
Yep.
Yeah. It'll happen.
Lugosi only played Dracula twice, but also played Frankenstein's monster once.
That's not true. He played Dracula more than twice because many of them got together for a Route 66 special where Lon Chaney was Dracula, and I think Glenn Strange was the monster. And look at the Route 66 special. And in Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein, Lugosi is in it, and he's playing Dracula. They don't call him Dracula, but he's wearing the cape and stuff. You know what's cool? Now I have something to do while the hair is setting. I have to paint that mask.
So he sucks as a monster. He sucked as the monster. Hello, Edie.
Okay, hold on. Who said that?
Jim Obitz.
Jim? I have to take you down monster history lane here. Bela Lugosi didn't suck as the monster. He played the Frankenstein monster in Frankenstein versus the Wolfman. He was the Frankenstein monster in that. Here is why Bela Lugosi... There's a long list of reasons why Bela Lugosi got shafted. This particular reason, okay? In that movie, he is clumsy, slow, and he walks around like... This is where everybody thinks that Frankenstein walks like this. It's from Frankenstein versus the Wolfman. That is what this version of Frankenstein is from. He's not like that in the other movies. Because in the script, when Frankenstein comes out of, he's frozen in a block of ice, and Larry Talbot finds him. That's one of my favorite movies, by the way. And Larry Talbot finds him. In the script, it says Frankenstein is blind, and he can't see anything. So he comes out of it. Eventually, he gets his sight back. But when you first see Frankenstein and he's walking like this and his eyes are mostly closed, it's because he knows that the character is supposed to be blind, but they edited that out. They edited out the explanation that he's blind, so people think he's an idiot. It's like, why the heck did Bela Lugosi play him that way? He didn't. He really got shafted. But I digress. Anyway, you're allowed to have your own opinions, Jim. Just make sure that you have the opinion of Bela Lugosi based on all the facts that he was supposed to be blind in that film.
Glenn Strange is my great uncle.
Your great uncle is awesome.
Also pretty close to Dracula in Plan 9.
Oh, absolutely. Glenn Strange is my favorite Frankenstein. Yes, I like him more than Boris Karloff.
Karloff was the best. Do you like Vincent Price?
Oh, I love Vincent Price. Vincent Price is awesome.
Did he ever get any of his tools back when he went to go live in another shop?
I'm going to need more information than that.
I'm sure I followed that. I saw Lugosi mirror Zach Bagging's haunted museum in Las Vegas. It's supposed to be haunted.
Cool.
Happy Easter, everyone.
Happy Easter.
Jim says, I know all this, but I didn't like him as the monster at all.
Yeah, but you know, if you change how much would his performance have changed if they didn't edit out the fact where he's supposed to be blind? You know, they really scrummed him on that.
There was another guy who played the monster. I think Lugosi broke his foot.
Lugosi did break his foot during filming. And the monster was played by 2 people, but that's not uncommon.
The monster makeup was excellent on Bela Lugosi.
Yeah, I mean, by that time, Pierce really had it down.
I do like Lugosi, but not as the monster. Glenn Strange was great too.
Yeah.
I wanted to marry Vincent Price when I was 12 years old, says E. Blunzer, Art Lady Blunzer. Jason Bem, is there a must-have, as in theme music or something you need in a haunted house?
Yes. I have to have an actor with a spider on a fishing pole, and because that was my very first job in a haunt. So I have an actor up over people's heads, dropping a spider down on a fishing pole, and I have to do the fishing line that feels like cobwebs. I do that.
He actually turned down the part of the monster before Karloff got it.
He did. And he kicked himself for years. Okay, yeah. He has a soccer mask.
A drill you lost, he said it was his favorite, but it went to go live somewhere else and can't remember where he said it went to live.
I don't know what you mean, but I guess I haven't gotten it back. And now I'm sad over something I don't even remember.
Watching horror. Watch Horror Beauty Fox right now. Is there a fishing pole spider a superstition for you, Alan? Is that a superstition?
It's not a superstition, but I think that your best scares are going to be actor-triggered scares because they can read the crowd better. So I do think that is something, and it's a task in the haunt that can easily be overlooked, but I think it has value. So my sculpting form, all right, and I explained this last time, I'll be happy to explain it again. My sculpting form bells out so that I can do a single bucket mold without any undercuts and have enough room to sculpt a full ear in the right spot. So when I put it on a human head, which doesn't bell out, there's these extra flaps because it's just bigger around this way, and it ramps down. So the way to fix that, these flaps, is I glue it down to the head form, and I leave this fin, and I'm just going to cut this fin.
I don't think a haunt is good unless it has live actors.
Well, yeah, I'm not even talking about a haunt without actors. And then one side you just push down and glue it down. On the other side, you just cut off the excess. I'm going to do it on, it's hard to do it on your side of the camera. I'm going to do it right here.
Happy Easter, everyone.
Happy Easter.
Next Halloween, I feel as though I should dress as the monster just to honor my great uncle.
I agree.
Taking all the classic horror and hearing other people know all these little tidbits brings so much joy to me.
Who's that?
Tina Husiak. Tina, I hope I said that right.
I love me some classic monsters.
Is the spider, fishman, woman, person costume out? Art Lady Blunser would like to know.
What?
Did you not hear the question?
I didn't understand the
Is
question.
the spider, fishman, /woman /person costumed out?
Yes, yes. They have a costume so that if people look up, they see a character. Yes.
Happy Easter. Will that ever come apart? What you're working on there?
I mean, it's possible one day, but contact cement is actually a really good adhesive. And we're going to reinforce it even more and hide this seam a little bit with more contact cement.
Do you have time now for a custom mask?
Well, it's the quarantine. We all have time. Yes, it wouldn't get out and done until probably June. But yeah, I could start on one. And I just go over these seams with contact cement, and I will put some blue or shop towel on them.
Art Lady Blunser says it scared me when Alan yelled at the camera. Hammer horror or
Sorry.
universal monsters?
Oh, that's tough. So the question is for what? Each one wins in different categories. I love the Hammer horror stuff. Now, I love Christopher Lee as Dracula. I was not a big fan of him as Frankenstein. I did not like his Frankenstein. There is no better Abraham Van Helsing, I think, than Peter Cushing. My favorite on-screen Wolfman is Oliver Reed in Curse of the Werewolf. Doesn't mean that the Wolfman isn't good, but I actually put Wolfman below Paul Naschy. I love Paul Naschy's Wolfman. Do you know who Paul Naschy is? Like?
Do you also act in your haunted house?
I do. I act in it whenever I can, and sometimes I have to act outside of it.
I grew up on the Hammerstein Frankenstein VHS tapes. We had my favorite Dr. Frankenstein.
Yeah, I mean, the Hammer had some good stuff. And, you know, the 70s were just a more colorful time. And, you know, the movies are in color. There's that huge advantage. And the score, I prefer the music, I think, of the Hammer films. They're so grand, full of themselves. I love it.
Tell me that Paul Naschy did a lot of Spanish horror.
He did. He was a Polish bodybuilder who wanted to be the Wolfman more than anything, and no one would hire him, so he started making his own Wolfman movies, and they were wonderful yet terrible.
Yeah, terrible.
And I just enjoy a good Paul Naschy werewolf movie. So this little piece of blue paper towel has 4 ripped edges. And that means it's going to blend in pretty well to this seam.
Another fun fact, Jabba the Hutt was 1,500 pounds of latex rubber with 2 puppeteers on the inside.
Yes.
Peter Cushing is the best Van Helsing.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. That's not even a contest. I have a hard time naming the actor who played him in the United States Dracula, the Universal Dracula. So one of the puppeteers inside of Jabba the Hutt was a little person, and he would often say in interviews that his favorite time in his life was when he was inside of Jabba the Hutt, and Carrie Fisher had no idea like where the people were in there, and she kind of straddled him, and he enjoyed the moment when she was strangling Jabba. So she's on top and she's writhing, and he's like, "Well, this is kind of cool."
I never heard that.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome. I have a 9-month-old son right now, and I wait to introduce him to monster and horror movies. It's already driving me crazy. That's awesome.
That's great.
That's awesome.
Get that next generation started.
I just ordered one of the shirts from your website. Thank you, Speedrun.
Oh, cool.
I almost feel as though Hammerstein and Universal are apples and oranges.
They are. They're different things, and they had to alarm audiences from 2 different times, and what people were worried about in the 70s and what people were worried about in the 30s and 40s, just completely different.
Just play the movies now so he gets used to the screaming. It's a big dog.
All about the screaming.
Thank you for the privilege of talking to you.
You know what? This is something. Going live like this is something that my wife and I really enjoy doing.
Yeah, it's nice.
In our time of quarantine, I know that we can go live and have fun conversations and debates about King Ghidra, who is almost as cool as Mothra. Have monster debates and talk monster stuff and monster movies and make some monsters, and it's good. Monsters are good.
So will the Leprechaun event be incorporated into the future?
We have done that for 7 years, so it's not like it's going to go away. We will do our St. Patrick's Sleigh haunted house. We will do that again in next year.
Does your wife ever get annoyed with you building and creating your stuff? My girlfriend is starting to hate Halloween because of my stuff.
No, my wife has gotten annoyed, and justifiably so, when I was making a foam dinosaur. Well, I was making a foam dragon skeleton, actually. And that foam dragon skeleton stayed out in the backyard for like 6 months, and the tarp that it was on, it killed the lawn, and that was not polite of me. My monsters were encroaching upon other things. And as long as I am respectful and as long as I am considerate, no, not at all. She's obviously very supportive, as she is reading comments right now so that I can work. And maybe it's not your girlfriend, and maybe you might be doing something that's inconsiderate, and it's worth investigating. I'm not saying you're doing anything wrong, but I'm also not going to say, well, she's crazy, when I don't know any of the circumstances.
That's good, because everybody's telling him to get a new girlfriend, which is not necessarily...
Yeah, that's not what I
that's fair.
would necessarily say. If she's unreasonable, then, maybe. But I don't know the situation.
Classic B horror movies, my favorite kind of movies. I agree, Art Lady. Anything from stop action to really fake costumes, i.e. Godzilla from the 40s and 50s, are freaking awesome. I agree. They're fun.
Yep.
Great fun. I enjoy it too, Alan. Thanks for going live. Yes, monsters are good. Mothra, oh, here's Plastic Ninja. I knew he was here. Now you've done it again. Mothra is really cool, so I'll accept this opinion, even if it's wrong.
Mothra, by the way, is like my least favorite of the. He's my least favorite. Boy.
I rewatched Godzilla vs. Mothra today, and I forgot how beautiful some shots were.
Yeah. Yeah, and those two little Hawaiian girls, or I guess the Japanese girls, but they felt very islandy.
I truly enjoy your tutorials. Now I'm starting to watch your live streams because I enjoy watching you create stuff.
You know what? It's they're different animals. Hopefully in the tutorials I come off a little more polished because I normally show you things that I know work, and I'm trying to teach a technique most of the time. But yeah.
Have you ever made a Mind Flayer mask or costume? Mind
Kaiju.
Flayers are cool. There's one on the website.
Hold on, I'll show you a little something.
He's in the
booth building?
He's in the booth building.
Oh. Yeah, I'll grab it.
Chris, the answer is yes. He has made a Mind Flayer mask. Not a costume, but he made the mask. And he's going to go get it. It's also on our website, but there is a mask that we have in stock that he actually finished just recently. So I know that's the one he's going to go get. Let's hope that he knows his way around the booth building and can find it. Right now, our booth building, which is what we call it, it's just a storage building, but it's where we keep a lot of the shelves and masks and costumes and such that we have right now because it's cool enough in Texas that it's not going to compromise the costume. Also, it's where we put everything that we were getting ready to take to Transworld, which of course didn't happen. But that is kind of our little HQ while we are redoing this second part in the loft of this shop where we can get other things put together. But yes, there is a Mind Flayer as well as other things that I am not allowed to tell you about yet because he wants to wait and have a little unveiling later on in the spring. So we've got some things in there, which is why he didn't take the camera, is on my guess. Things he does not want to spoil because he has surprises for you guys.
Okay.
You did find him.
Yeah, I found him pretty quick.
I was making sure because he's kind of back there.
Now, this is a four-eyed Mind Flayer, so bear with me, but all of these are posable, so you can change your tentacle poses. Yeah. So, yes, I have made a Mind Flayer type mask. See how posable those tentacles are? And I did them with four eyes. I just thought that would look neater, and you're actually looking at it here. Yeah, I think they've got a little beak inside of there. You know, you don't see that on the Mind Flayer art, but
Let them know he's on our website under masks.
oh, he's on our website under masks. That's what Shannon says. I also brought out, since we were talking a lot about Glenn Strange, when I sculpted my Frankenstein a few years back, I used illustrations as a reference, and I used the Glenn Strange Frankenstein as a reference. It is not straight right from one or the other, but I was definitely influenced by the Glenn Strange Frankenstein when I make this guy.
Our lady says that we should do a 40s and 50s horror movie night. What recent horror movies have given you ideas or inspirations for the haunted house? Because you do watch a lot.
A lot of my stuff was inspired by Frankenstein's Army, which came out a few years ago. That was really good. Some of the hand weapons came about at that time also.
Can you tilt your camera down just a little bit?
This neck flap, I don't like how unattached it is.
I love Mind Flayers. I love Godzilla. They're all racing because now you've done it. You've started Plastic Ninja. Okay.
Yeah, there should be, boy, other movies. I'm trying to think.
Movies that have inspired you.
They said recent.
Well, that not necessarily recently that have been released, because we haven't seen a movie in almost a year. Think about movies that you've recently seen, and you watch 4 or 5 movies a day when you're working in the shop. So,
Don't take this wrong, but I generally watch pretty uninspiring movies.
well, that's true.
I
Because
watch
that way you
terrible
don't have,
monster movies.
because you don't get distracted by them.
Yes.
But just think on it.
Yeah, right now I can't think of any.
Think of a movie. I'm sure there's something that, or something that you've been inspired by.
I'm sure of it.
You just can't think of it. Two-Headed Shark Attack was one of those movies. It was so bad, but it was good. We love bad movies, Jamie. We love them. They're a lot of fun. Can you hear me?
Two-Headed Shark Attack?
Nah, yes. Plastic Ninja says, you really gotta put Mothra below losers like Baragon and Ibra.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Baragon's not so bad. He deserves his shot in the sun. But, like, from what I know of actual moths, the city that Godzilla and Mothra fight in should be shut down for, like, dust pollution. Because, you ever, like, flick a moth and just this cloud of dust? They're not the hardiest creatures. So I don't... If I'm going to have a giant insect defend me, I think I want the praying mantis one, not Mothra. Just saying. Aragon. Yeah, I don't mind him. He's fine. Was the other one you mentioned? That was the big lobster, right? Oh, look, one of my favorite scenes in any of the Toho movies is when Godzilla and the big monster lobster are throwing rocks at each other back and forth. And because the lobster's in the water and Godzilla's on the beach, and Godzilla he throws a rock to try and kill him, and the monster will bat it back with his claw, and then Godzilla will turn around and swat it with his tail. And I get giddy every time I see Godzilla do the rear back on your tail and do a sliding drop kick. That's my favorite. Because I know that somewhere inside that costume is a Japanese man screaming. And that makes me happy.
What is your favorite mask you have ever made?
I
will tell you, Art Lady, because you're asking me the same question. It's the one I met him in, which I've told you this before. Or you might not have been on that night, but it's a gargoyle mask is that he was wearing that I'm trying desperately to preserve in the house, out of sunlight and any kind of elements, because latex will naturally break down. So his gargoyle mask the night I met him is my favorite. What is your favorite?
You know what? I don't have a favorite I don't look at them as art, and don't understand me. They are tools. I make tools. So I don't necessarily have a favorite mask that I've ever made. I know I've made some good ones, and I like them. But as far as I don't think of them that way. I don't rank them that way. I want them to be a good tool for whatever actor gets them to be able to perform well in. That's what's important about them.
I wonder if I credited you, I'd be able to make a carnivore fake movie trailer.
Hooray!
They like the beak and the look of the carnivore. That's awesome. Love it. Very cool that he has 4 eyes.
Oh, the mind flayer type. Illithid is the proper term.
Brain turns into puddle. I love it. That's awesome. Sweet. Oh.
What? What's oh my goodness?
There's a lot of comments I haven't gotten to.
My wife is shushing me.
Shush, I got it. I got it. You do your thing. I'm here. I got it. I really wish there were more bug monsters and octopus monsters. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah. Octopuses are highly underrated as far as fodder for monster movies. You do get some decent Kraken style movies. You know, that's not terrible, but yeah, octopus type monsters, there should be more, without doubt.
I am terrified beyond the capacity of rational thought looking at the mind flayer.
Hooray!
How much is the Glenn Strange mask?
Well, I don't call it a Glenn Strange mask. It is a Frankenstein mask. Honey, how much is it? It's $125, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's $125 because it is a full head latex mask with hair, so it's $125.
Those tentacles would keep me from touching my face.
Yeah, I should wear that next time I go to the grocery store.
That is not something you hear every day, tentacle position options.
Yeah.
Good night, Big Dog. Big Dog is off to bed.
That depends on the movies you watch, I guess.
There's a horror movie out called Haunt, and the trailer looks awesome. Did you see it?
I don't know. Movies all kind of run together. I don't think I have. If it's about people killing people, then I'm not interested. I like monster movies, even if it takes place in a haunted house. Here's a little mini tip, all right? So I'm going to make these tombstones out of gray EVA foam, and I want to put RIP on it. So the first thing I put is the I right in the middle. If I started with the R, or if I started with the P, I might not have enough room. But if I start with the I right in the middle, then I'm probably going to have enough room to put everything I want.
With a large percentage of modern horror films being remakes, your Freddy, Jason, Chucky, and so forth, do you welcome those franchises being remade, or do you think it's hurting the horror film industry?
So here's the kicker, that a lot of higher budget horror movies are remakes, but there's a lot of independent horror that happens that is not remakes. And that industry is doing very well. So now I have room for everything and it looks centered.
Morning, guys. Happy Easter. I'm going to send you some photos of my masks I've made when I sort out my email account. That is Richard from the UK.
Cool.
Plastic Ninja says the moth dust is your line. Kamakura is the mantis.
Kamakura.
I would rather have a Hercules beetle save me, but he hasn't made that yet. That's Art Lady Blunser. Plastic Ninja says the sliding kick was big in the Godzilla vs. Megalon.
Oh, yeah. My other favorite move is King Kong taking the whole tree and just shoving it down Godzilla's throat. That was awesome. Oh, they make me happy.
I know you love your werewolves, and I also know you love and respect the creativity and look of Pumpkinhead. If you had to eliminate one from memory, who would go?
Pumpkinhead.
Mad Magazine unzipped the Godzilla costume and 4,000 Japanese guys came out. Gorosaurus also did a lot of kangaroo kicks.
Yes. Yes.
Mecha Godzilla for life.
Who was pretty much just a T-Rex. He was pretty much just a T-Rex.
My mom is friends with a guy who directed Pumpkinhead too.
Awesome.
What is your favorite, wild man or werewolf?
Werewolf.
Looks like we need some more thumbs up, peeps. This Kirk Matai. Hi, Kirk.
Hey.
Yes, 90 people are watching.
90 people? Holy moly. And we're just BSing about
And
monsters?
it's Easter Sunday. He also did the third Texas Chainsaw movie.
That was a good one. Saw his family. Like that was a biggie.
Say goodnight to Spastic Pug.
Now it was a comedy, which wasn't normal. And people weren't expecting. Good night, Spastic Pug.
Even if you disagree with me, your masks are a work of art. Anything man-made is art, even handwriting and working with numbers. That's art, Lady Blunser.
I suppose that is true, but I'm making tools. You know, I in my brain, and this isn't always the case. I think that these are going to go to a haunted house, and they're going to go in a costume room, and an actor is going to be there and say, "I want to be that." That's why I make them.
What are you cutting the thumb for?
Oh, because I don't want the tombstone to stick straight up on the side of the hat. I want it to be at a jaunty angle. So I just cut the bottom so it's angled a little bit.
What are the trends you are seeing in home decorating for Halloween 2020?
I don't know. I don't know. I think a lot of people are companies who do that kind of thing. They're struggling now. That show, the trade show, where a lot of that kind of gets decided, already happened because that happens in January, and then you get your product that you order in June or so. So that has already happened. But I didn't see anything new and amazing there. You know, I didn't see things that were, wow, this is a great new trend. Yeah, I think a lot of the new trend stuff is going to come from home haunters who then it goes on the internet and it gets big there, and then the other companies pick it up because they see it on Pinterest.
Damn, autocorrect. I did mean wild man is werewolf versus wolfman. Which
Oh, boy.
now it's tough.
I have a very clear definition of what is a werewolf and what is a wolfman. A werewolf is not cursed. A werewolf has a snout. They have the Krynos form, which is halfway between wolf and man. And a wolfman is cursed, and that's how he became that. A werewolf bites a person and they are cursed, then they become a wolfman. But a werewolf has made a deal with the devil in order, or whatever being, in order to get their powers. So a werewolf and a wolfman. I prefer the look, I think, of werewolves, but if I'm going to play one, I want to play a wolfman. It's just fun. I've been doing it for years. Remember that blue shop towel that I put contact cement on? Well, now I'm going to put it over these seams. I really push it down, and that contact cement is going to bond with the surface of that mask. And when I paint that, you won't even know it's there.
People are watching.
Hello, everybody. Yeah, talking about trends. Haunted house trends kind of follow movies, and then home haunts follow the trend of what has been made. And they go for a couple years. The theme will start off, and it gets more popular, more popular, more popular, and then that theme, is oversaturated. Now, It Too did not do as well as the first It movie. It just did not do as well in the box office. The It #1 was the #1 horror movie of all time. #2 didn't do that. It wasn't near as big. So I think we'll see a little bit of a drawback from clowns and haunts. I know a lot of haunts that put in clown sets after the first one. Now, they're not, directly supposed to do that, but a lot of them do.
Saying hello to Body Geeks.
Oh, hey again, Body Geeks.
How would you go about doing werewolf hands like on Thriller video with really long claws, but easy to take on and off?
Well, I'll show you. Now, these aren't hair. These are sitting in the drawer waiting to get hair on them. And I think these are mediums. And my hands are larges, if not extra larges. There you go. That's it. That's how. I use high density EVA foam. That is 3/4 of an inch thick. I laser cut it. So I laser cut it. The claw I worked on in order to get it just right. So yeah, that's how. I haven't added hair to it yet, but all the hair is also laser cut.
Do you see the actor touch guests trend backing off?
Oh, big time. Big time, especially because of coronavirus. I think that not only that, but you'll see haunted houses get rid of claustrophobia tunnels. You will see haunted houses get rid of curtains that hang down in the face. You'll see them get rid of all kinds of things.
I still have a fondness for the carnival and clown theme.
So these guys, this is hair that goes on those gloves, and they basically either side of the nail for the fingers, and then there's a big patch on the back of the hand and a gauntlet. So. I think the carnival will have a place in haunts. It's a little. They're just different. They're different people. It's a different culture. It's cool.
I still have a fondness for the carnival. Okay, I know it's oversaturated, but it's so fun, and there's so many creative ideas to be done with it. This is Plastic Ninja.
Yes, but people aren't doing them because they're making another clown character.
Are you selling those gloves?
I do sell those gloves. My gloves aren't on the website yet, are they?
Nope.
Give me a couple weeks and they'll be on the website.
We can do them this week if you want to.
What?
We can do them this week if you want to.
Okay, so my wife says we could do them sometime this week.
Because I've got to photograph the carnivore and get him up there.
Look for them by Friday.
Well, I think the deadline. We can do it. We can do it. Gray House Haunts. Let's see. Would work great for Freddy gloves too.
A little, kind of, yes, a bit.
That's cool. And you just add hair like that or fur fabric?
I do.
I didn't see the hand claws on the website. Are they only sold with full costumes? No, Lisa. They will be up this week.
They do come with full costumes. If you get a full werewolf costume, then you've got gloves. Or if you get a full Krampus costume, then you've got gloves. But we haven't put them on individually yet, but we will.
How many haunts do you work, if any?
I am the director of Dark Hour Haunted House in Plano, Texas, which is a year-round haunted house that we do between 5 and 8 different shows a year with different themes, we really change the show for all these different shows.
100 people are watching.
Okay, no pressure. Don't say anything stupid, Alan.
It will be a strange haunt season this year.
I think it will. I think that we're going to have to work the way we do our lines differently. But I don't mind that anyway. I want the line to expand so people aren't on top of each other. There was one haunt that I worked at, and I said they made cubes of hate because the people were so close to each other, and they were a mob. And if you spread that line out, do what Disney does, do what Universal does, make that line longer. It's much longer. But the queue is part of the show. Okay. All these now have been patched. I'm going to put a little bit of contact cement over them.
Do you think the clown sightings were part of a grassroots marketing campaign for the movie It, or just people jumping on the bandwagon?
I think it was just people jumping on the bandwagon.
I forgot to order a pair of gloves with my hair suit, Kurt Mattia.
Did you order just a suit?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, then if you want to order gloves, we'll talk. You know who to talk to. Not me, the wife.
I didn't even think about our claustrophobia tunnel speed road production.
You think about it. They don't want you right now. You can't touch anything, and if it's going to stay on surfaces for a day or 2 or 10 days, then you want to go through that.
The actual clowns aren't the fun part of the theme to me. It's the stuff around it. This is Plastic Ninja talking about a carnival theme.
Yeah.
The Midway carnival theme. Those are fun. I'm never going to finish my order, Body Geeks. I do keep adding here. Excuse me. When repainting or wanting to change a base color of a latex mask or bust that I'm assuming was sealed with a finished coat, do you have to completely strip it to repaint it, or is there other ways?
I paint over all the time. I will go in, I'll clean it with naphtha or 99% alcohol. Normally I'll clean it with naphtha and just make sure it's good and clean, because that'll get off your surface coat. And then the paint will stick to itself. And no one really puts it on thick enough where it's going to cause a detail problem. So there.
Are you going to put them on with or without the hair? I'm talking about the gloves now.
Put what on?
Put them on the website. Are they going to be available with or without hair, gloves without fur too, that would make great witch or demon hands?
Here's what there's going to be. There's going to be long finger gloves, which are just fingers, not claws. There's going to be long claw gloves, no hair. And then there's going to be werewolf gloves with hair and claws. I do not have long fingers with hair, but I may do that actually as a Bigfoot glove. So it's claws or hair, claws or fingers, and then it's hair or no hair. That's how it's going to be.
I didn't think it was possible to have a year-round haunted house.
It's possible. I've worked for 4 of them.
I noticed on your site you have masks with lighted eyes. How difficult is it to see with the lights on, or are they placed outside of the actor's vision?
I'll show you. Let me grab a sculpt I think I've got sitting over here. I have a mask. Getting ready for stuff. Okay, so here is one. I had to stop and put a battery in it. So this guy, see the ice on there? If you really look, there's a socket for that I sculpted into it. So it has a socket for the LED above your eye. See where my eye is? And that socket is already, it's built into the mask. I can see perfectly fine no matter what. And in all the pictures, these eyes show and yours do not. Okay, I'm gonna go put this back. This is a much better look at the socket. See where your eye is? And there's this socket that is sculpted into the mask. When I mold it, it's there to hold the LED. It keeps it away from your eye, and you can't even tell that they're on. See? Okay.
Clown sightings have been happening for ages too. Say goodnight to Tina Kusiak.
Good night, Tina.
The haunted attraction offers a VIP ticket option. I will pay the extra cost as you go in with a smaller group.
Sure. It's a good thing to offer. Yeah.
I would love to host a Halloween party with a haunted hotel theme. What would you say is a must decoration for that? I'm gonna write it down.
A hotel theme.
Haunted hotel theme.
Well, you have to have a front desk area with all of the keys and stuff hanging behind it. And I think you have to go old school and do the keys, the hard room number tag. Yeah. Is it chilly out there?
Yes.
Forgot to hit this one. You guys get me distracted. Okay. James, I'm glad you like the mask. You guys are pushing the thumbs up. I appreciate that. What's the name of that mask? The first one with the beard, the first one with all the white hair, that was my ghost sculpt, and that was a male ghost. Jack in Irons was that mask, but it's my ghost sculpt that I do a female and a male off of that same sculpture. That ghost happened to be called Jack in Irons. Okay. So all of these guys have had contact cement painted on them. So it's taken a little bit of time. Just having a haunt is insulting. Ivan, I don't agree with that. I don't think it's insulting to dead people to have a haunted house. Is it insulting to have to name a zombie after a dead person? Maybe, but no, I think anything, it honors the dead. It's haunted houses on Halloween. It's a time of year where the dead things, they have rights, they have interest, and I just think that's cool. I don't think so. Ideal group size, I think, is 6 people to go through a haunted house. I don't think you can hurt the feelings of a ghost. If you did and ghosts got upset, I think they would only make your haunted house better by scaring people in it. Yes, it's kind of a way for people to confront their mortality. For me, it was a way to, being the Wolfman was a way to confront personal weakness. I wanted to be stronger. I wanted to be tougher. When I played a Wolfman, I was. I didn't have any powers, so I couldn't be a superhero, but there was always a chance I could get bit by a werewolf, you know? How long do I plan on staying live? It is 10 o'clock right now. I'm looking at the work that I have to do. I'll probably be live till about 11, is my guess. These guys has to dry. Oh, I got a heat gun over here. Yeah, I mean, see, it's all different. It's. Oh, hear that rattling noise? That's not good. We'll see how it goes. Heat gun shouldn't rattle. And I knew where my mom was, so I had parents. I couldn't be Batman. Yep, that works. Blistering hot. Yeah. No, it shouldn't make that sound. I always use my hand to check the heat gun. How do I know it's blowing hot air? I could be wasting my time. I don't want to waste time. I got stuff to do. I got monsters to make. These are blowing cold air. How long would I be standing here before I knew? Yeah, with the yellow eyes, that does look kind of cool. Oh, I go through a lot of heat guns. I do have siblings. I have a sister. What do my parents think of my monster making skill? I've made a living out of it, so it's my job. It's my profession. My mother was always very. I was raised without my father, but my mother has always been very supportive because she wanted to be an artist and then didn't. And since I wanted to be an artist, she's like, "You should do it." So I did it. Very supportive. Yeah, room full of anything is cool. Yeah, I'm talking to Rodney here. A room full of any type of creature. We have a room in dark hour where it's about 20 like cloaked figures all standing there. And yeah, it gets a good scare. Thomas R. I love my life. I love what I do for a living. I really do. I'm very happy. I'm a happy guy. This is a Drill Master heat gun from Harbor Freight. They're my favorite. They are hands down my favorite heat gun ever. It gets hotter than most heat guns. It certainly gets hotter than the Stanley heat guns that I've had. It gets hotter. It lasts the same amount of time. And it's $10. So Yoda 9726, any suggestion for a D&D monster for my project? I finished up my Easter golem. I love golems. There's a place in my heart for golems. But anyway, I always highly recommend the Gibbering Mouther. It never hurts to make a Gibbering Mouther. That's one of my favorite D&D monsters ever. Yeah, see, we don't use any kids though because it's hard to keep them awake and stuff and legally employed. They've got to leave by like 11:30 p.m. That's awesome, Art Lady. That is awesome. A heat gun is a very valuable tool. I use heat guns every day. I use their sandblast gun to rust my apocalypse masks. I buy iron powder, I put it in their sandblasting gun, hit the mask with spray adhesive, and then I blow the iron powder onto it, and then I shoot it with vinegar.
Had to squeeze the puppies.
I think I'm caught up, love.
Oh, great.
I think I managed to stay caught up. If I missed a comment in the last 5 or 10 minutes, just repost it. Repost it. Don't be angry. Just repost. Don't be sad. Just repost.
Did you get I Love Harbor Freight?
No. Yes, I did, actually.
First heat gun purchase was after watching a YouTube Wednesday. Can you bend fiberglass after heating up?
Fiberglass is a different animal. No, you cannot really. No. It's thermoplastic, which gets bendy when you heat it up. I have to find the black. Ooh, look, the black. I gotta paint in those head things, the patches I just put on.
Can't wait to get me one of those Gravediggers in a werewolf suit. Rodney Pope. Hey, Rodney.
Yeah, the Gravedigger is a really fun mask. And I've made a Krampus out of him. I've done a lot with him. I'm very happy with how he turned out. You know what? This guy's going to take a while. I'll hit him first.
You're the reason I wanted a heat gun.
I am not going to airbrush this guy. It doesn't change anything if I put it on with a brush or if I airbrush it. And because a lot of people don't have airbrushes, this guy I'll just go ahead and do with a brush.
When I start back welding, I'll send you all the iron powder you want.
Cool. Yeah, I buy it right now.
Very classic looking. Does fiberglass resin on its own work as a weatherproofing?
Yes, yes it does. It's not very strong on its own, so don't add it for strength, add it for weatherproofing. Because basically you're coating your prop in plastic.
Where can you find iron powder? I'm thinking of rusting a fiberglass form, fine enough to shoot through the sandblaster.
Amazon. Let's see, is it right here? New, yes. Iron filings, fine. This is Shinko. Right there. Well, this is a 1 pound package. Iron filings. M600 iron filings, 1 pound. Educational innovations. 5 Francis J. Clark Circle, Bethel, Connecticut, 06801. 888-912-7474. There you go. Okay.
Have you ever done any wood carving?
I have. I do a lot of woodwork. Well, I used to do a lot of woodwork. I enjoy woodworking. I turn bowls and things on a lathe. A lathe is probably my favorite woodworking tool. Because everything, you can do everything on the lathe. You start the project there, you finish it, you sand it, you pull off a finished piece. That's really nice. A lot of things that I do are in stages. So it's not, you're not done.
Get a piece of steel and a grinder, a magnet inside a plastic bag.
You know what? But then I'm spending time. And that time, that unpleasant time I spend around the grinder, I'd rather be making monsters. So I will spend the money to buy the product and not necessarily the time to make it in that case. When you are base coating a mask, you want to make sure that you hit it from all angles. Got to really jab it to get it down in between the teeth.
102 people are watching. 10 o'clock on Easter Sunday. That is amazing.
It's 10 o'clock on a Sunday. The Mask Creeper crowd is here. I know what I meant. Not even sorry.
See? I didn't hush him up.
Y'all
guys.
deserve that. Y'all
Let
deserve
him
it.
sing. Let him sing. You guys have no idea. All this, Alan likes to sing and then he just makes up what he doesn't know.
Right.
I told my husband I want this for my birthday so bad.
What do you want for your birthday?
What do you want? Acacia? I hope I said that right. I'm not sure what it is. Let us know. What is it that you
I
want?
bet it's Catasia.
Catasia?
Catasia.
That's pretty.
It's a beautiful
They go
name.
Gravedigger. That is a pretty name. More than helpful. Thanks for everything. My battery is dying fast. I bid you good evening. Keep
Good.
smiling. I didn't think once of why I'm off work while I watch you. You do a great thing here. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Could you could have counted Carl too. He was watching you for a few minutes.
Yeah. He's a creeper. All right. So now this is going to dry, and I'll probably have to hit it again in a couple spots, which is very common.
That is not rain. That is wind. Super windy outside. Very chilly.
Cool. Now this is much easier. All I have to do is these guys up here.
But he's my creeper. That's Art Lady Blaster. Let's her some Carl.
I think we could do an Ask Carl Anything. That might be fun. And this is going to be black, but I'll dry brush it and it'll blend right in.
Do you use latex paint from a big box store or is it a special purchase?
It's a big box store. It's Home Depot. Literally, right here above my door are all the colors I use. These are my 13 colors for this year. Every year in February, I go get 13 different colors, and there'll be 13. Now I have to have kind of a brown. I have to have a red, a blue, or greens, you know. But these are my colors, and it's literally I pull the thing, and I want a quart of this, and then from that quart I can make 3 quarts of mask paint. "90 people. That's a lot."
We had 105 a few minutes ago.
Wow.
He's one of those guys who would give you the shirt off his back. Come to think of it, that's what I love about him.
Yeah, any excuse for Carl to go naked.
Yeah, boy. Any brand recommendations on sculpting rake tools?
Ken's Tools. Ken'sTools.com. Like the guy Ken. He makes really good rake tools. And there's another company, I'd have to look them up. And by look them up, I mean go to where my sculpting tools are. If I knew where they were, that'd be better. I cannot find my sculpting tools right now. So, there. Life's a little chaotic in the shop right now. Ooh, I found them. I know the name is written on this tool. It looks like it says CES. CES sculpting tools. So I like Kemper. I don't think I like their wire loops. I don't use their rakes. They probably make rakes, but I don't use their rakes. No more questions?
Mm-hmm. They want a naked Carl video. You mentioned a lady ghost. Don't see her on the website. Is she a commissioned piece?
That is a costume that I sell.
Ophelia.
Yeah, I call it the Ophelia ghost. We have pictures of it. I don't have one on hand right now, but yeah, that's something that I have made in the past. I took it to trade shows, and if people ask for it, then I make it. We don't have a lot of big stilt costumes up on the website right now, but we'll get there. I kind of don't want everything on the website at once. I kind of want to do it in waves, so stilt costumes are last.
You got Kemper tools.
I guess I'll get a plaster head and go ahead and do the hair on the one mask I have finished without hair.
A jester would be cool.
A what?
A jester.
Jesters are fun. There's a lot of jester masks out there. And that's pretty close to clown territory.
If you were to make a skeleton from scratch, what would you make it out of?
I do a lot of it with EVA foam and obviously PVC pipe. So EVA and PVC. I'm just grabbing something to be a riser. This head is too low.
How much of these masks and costumes do you use at dark hour, or do you make completely different things for dark hour than Stiltby Studios?
Mostly they're pretty different. However, if I need a fish man, I know I got a fish man mold at the house. I'll just take it there and use their latex and pour it up. Where it gets tough is when I sell a stilt costume to a haunted house. It's about $1,000. So I have to figure out what am I going to do for dark hour if dark hour wants that, and I decide if dark hour wants it. So that part I have to be a little careful.
Can you show a half bust versus a full bust form?
Well, this is a full head. It's a full head. The only half bust I have here, my dog ate the nose on. Really? Look, teeth marks. Half bust. Half mask. Handle inside. Pull it out of the mold. Normally there's a bigger nose on it, but my dog ate it. See teeth marks? Dog ate my homework.
Hey, where do you order your spandex socks from, or do you make them yourself? If you order them, do you have a link?
See, again, I buy mine from China 100 at a time, but they're on Amazon. You can find them on Amazon for, $10 or less a piece. Amazon has them. Look for balaclava, head sock, and put in the word motorcycle. That helps. Hair.
People are watching.
109 people are watching us make sock masks. Watching us make Gravediggers.
170, 110 people.
Gravedigger Palooza.
Goodness. It's amazing. I have a question. When you mix liquid latex with acrylic paint and water to make latex mask paint, and when you paint the mask with latex mask paint, the paint won't peel off, right?
Correct. It will not just peel off. Now, if you paint it onto a mask that's dirty or a mask that is oily, then yeah, it's not going to bond well. You have to make sure it's either fresh from the mold or you prep the surface. So if I have a mask that's been out of the mold for more than a week, I wipe it down with naphtha before I paint it. Wife, are you good to go to 11?
Yes.
It's 10:30 now.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it. I watched Pan's Labyrinth again yesterday. Awesome movie. I'd forgotten how wonderful, frightening it was. The backdrop of Spanish fascism coupled with incredible monsters. Wow.
Hashtag Spanish fascism.
Gorgeous movie, Chris. If you ever get a chance to see Del Toro's exhibit.
Monsters at Home?
Yeah. We flew to Los Angeles to see it, and it was worth every penny. If you remove the lower jaw from your gravedigger like your werewolf, he'd make a cool Robert Marley. Do you mean Jacob Marley, Ross? You mean Dickens? Is that what you mean? Robert Marley. Yes, he meant Jacob Marley. Jacob Marley from Dickens. I agree with top hat and all.
I think if you just
Jacob Marley's scary.
tie that head bandage around him,
Yeah, he's scary. I just realized I have been watching your YouTube videos since around 2012 when I found YouTube on how to make skin out of a trash bag.
Hey, that was me.
That's also the first video I saw on how to make a mold.
Cool. We're old buddies. You didn't even know.
Did you hear about EXA shutting down completely if it is asked a certain question?
No.
No, what's the question? Because ours shut down today, and we still don't know what happened to it.
Yeah, we lost one for a while today.
Yeah, still not sure what happened. Boy, it sounds like it's so windy outside. Thanks for the advice. I was able to find some hair locally.
Cool. Okay. Got a little turd in the end of the gun.
Did you show people how to all the mysteries of the gun when you did that?
No. Maybe on the next one.
All the mysteries.
Okay. Caulking gun. And I did this on a video, and there was a comment on the video where a guy said, "I've been a contractor for 30 years, and I had no idea about that on the
people don't know
on the caulking guns." Caulking gun. This is 100% silicone caulk GE. On all the guns, there's a hole right here, and that's a little guillotine. When you're out of it, watch that hole. Shunk, shunk. That's a blade. That's a blade right there. So that cuts the tip off for you. And then somewhere on it, sometimes it's right here, sometimes it's up here, there's always a little wire to poke your tip, to poke down in your tip, because there's often a foil seal that has to break for it to come out evenly. So do those things, and you will be caulking with passion. Maybe not. Maybe that's not the way to say it, but you know what I mean.
I taught my assistants that after watching your video.
I didn't know how many people didn't know.
How is it that the non-contractors know about these things?
One thing that Bill Gates has said that I really agree with is, if you want to find the fastest way to do something, hire a lazy person to do it. Because they're not going to want to do extra steps. They're going to think about it. They're going to streamline the process to make it where it's as easy as possible. So maybe I'm just lazier than most people. I was a touch excessive in my hair choice.
I don't think I would call you lazy. Many things, but not lazy. It's not a comment, that's your wife.
I work very hard. I just don't always work on the right things.
You derail sometimes, that is true.
All right. So I go about, this is an 8-inch long hair, and I'm going to go 1.5 inches for all of my lines. I'm not going to measure out 1.5 inches because that's silly. I'm going to wing it. And I'm going to make it so it looks good. If it looks bad, then I would add another layer until it stops looking bad. So I put down the silicone first, then I cut my hair to length, then I place it in the silicone. And I'm putting it right on that silicone bead, about 1/3 of an inch down, and I'm mushing the silicone into the hairs of this hair weave bit. Anything that comes out the top, I'm spreading along the top to help hold it down.
Thomas R., I'm plugged in now. What can I say? I'm addicted. You should have a show on Netflix.
Well, if somebody out there from Netflix is watching, just let me know.
Just go. I find it hard to believe you are lazy.
Maybe that's not the right way to put it.
It's not lazy. Many things, but that's not one of them. Hey, Alan asking, as a cheapo haunter, any wisdom regarding smoke machines?
Spend about $350 on your fog machine, and And I call them fog machines, not smoke machines, because any machine you mess up enough is a smoke machine. But a fog machine does it on purpose, and it's repeatable. I like Lemater. There's a type we use at Dark Hour that I'm actually pretty happy with. And I get them from Froggy's Fog. You know, I like their product. I like their representation. And I can call them and they'll help me. And I clean them every year at the end of the season. Or make your tech do it. We have some amazing techs at Dark Hour.
Which looks cooler, coffins or caskets?
I don't even know the difference. Like, I'm not that guy. I think coffins are the new metal ones and caskets are the old wooden ones. So I would say caskets. I really like wicker caskets. They're beautiful. And have been considering for years buying like a whole truckload of them and having them brought over, because you get them in China, of course. And they're beautiful. Look up wicker caskets sometime. I just love the look of them.
Is Amazon the best place to get hair if you're not buying a bunch?
Yeah, it probably, well, no, the best place is a wig shop that's near you. You know, that's where you want to go, is a place near you that's local. That's the best. If you can't do that, then I would probably go the Amazon route.
Truly lazy people can be some of the busiest out there. What are the red-handled scissors you're always using?
These little guys. These little guys used to be sold at Harbor Freight, and they stopped selling them. So I have about 8 or 9 pair left, and they're just a good little scissor. But Harbor Freight doesn't carry them anymore. So now, if you see me using red-handled scissors sometimes, I don't even have a pair of them here. But there's another red pair that you can get from Tandy Leather. Yeah. This is the kind you can get from Tandy Leather, and these are also really nice little red scissors. These are still available, and I like these just fine. I really like them. But these little guys were my go-to for like 10, 12 years. And they just stopped carrying them. I go through scissors. Like I'm hard on things.
Poor Boris, he doesn't have room to lay down. Keep trying to make a spot. We need to go get a bed. We've only got 20 more minutes. I'm sorry, buddy. You didn't have a feeling.
Wyatt, can you come here and tell a story real quick?
Are you gonna get him a bed?
I can help our boy out.
Okay. Alan is gonna run to the house, and he's going to
No,
go.
I'm running to the back room.
Oh, you gotta make a makeshift bed.
Yeah.
One of our puppies have gotten so big that the bed we keep here for them is now too small, and we've got our big boy Boris here who wants to lay down with his siblings, and there's no spot, so Alan's gonna make him a little place to sleep. Quick story. Oh, that's very nice.
Scrap, ugly fur.
Oh.
I love it.
Wait a minute. This is better than any story. Let's look at this. If you'll ever think that he doesn't have a heart, he has one. He's gonna.
Boris,
Go on, buddy.
come here, bud.
There you go. We got a place for you to lay down. Is that big enough?
How is that? That's pretty soft.
There we go.
That's pretty soft.
There we go.
Thanks, Danny. Okay.
Better?
He is better.
Okay. Sorry, guys. No story time. We're back on it. Do a story time later. He does love his puppies. There you go, buddy. It's very sweet.
Well, he needs a place to lay down.
It's very sweet. When I'm in my shop, I always make a bed for my dog. We have a bed. They've just outgrown it. My goodness.
We have big dogs.
They've just outgrown it. Back in the house, they have beds, but we usually just bring one over. They're just gotten so big. Harbor Freight is the best, and I'm not just saying that because I'm a former employee.
Oh, I agree.
Justin Rudy, I talked to you the other day about Jason's bust shirt, and you said to mix clear silicone, caulk, and mineral spirits.
Odorless mineral spirit.
What mix ratio should it be, and how long should it be applied?
Till it looks cool. Till the caulk is as thin as you want it. There is no real ratio. I just apply it with a brush. It gives a nice wet look, as long as no one's wearing it. If someone's wearing it, you don't want to put caulking on it right up against their skin. He's got to soak a shirt. I would not soak a shirt with caulking. I'm gluing hair on a mask. This is on the outside of the mask. It's not touching their skin. There's a layer of latex between them and it. So, caulk left. So, we lost internet here, and it may happen again. We're having a very bad windstorm outside, so I think that played a big part of it. We were almost at our 11 p.m. anyway, so we will persevere. All right.
How do you feel about fonts going more video, like windows and pictures rather than rooms and sets?
One more time for me.
How do you feel about haunts going more video, like windows and pictures, rather than rooms and sets?
You know what? I think that's an element in the room. I think it's a nice added feature when it's an added feature. I don't know of any haunt who you go into the room and the room is empty except for a window. So they're combining it, and that I think that's perfectly fine. I think that's great. Okay, so this is a hair Gravedigger mask. He's on a plaster head, so it's heavier than normal. Remember, he has a hat on also, but he got a full head of hair.
And we have a thumbs down.
Oh, shut up with the thumbs down.
It's raining in Michigan.
Raining? Well, it was raining here today, but right now it's just windy. Lots of high wind.
We've had a little bit of everything today.
So this guy and this guy, they need finish their paint job. Remember, I'm blending that paint. So I probably won't even get to hair these guys today. I want to stop about 11. That's about 10 minutes. I'll be able to get these guys painted, though.
Alan could be a beautician. Beautiful work. Just started raining here in PA and expected bad storms and high wind. Warnings for overnight and tomorrow. Yeah, we've got some.
Yeah, we've got kind of the same.
We've had everything today. We've had storms, high wind, calm, beautiful, sunny, muggy. Now it's chilly. All in 24 hours. We've had so many different things. Spring.
It's also been wet today, so things are not drying fast.
I'm a new subscriber. I found you while watching a Hollywood Haunter video. I'm happy I subscribed in time to be here for this live stream.
Did they mention me, or did I comment, or how did you find me? Just out of curiosity. Okay. Now they're darker gray. And I'm not gonna, well, yeah, I will let that dry, but I'm gonna speed dry it.
Had your video in the up next box.
Oh, cool. What was that video out of curiosity?
It's raining here in the UK. It's always raining in the UK.
Yeah, it's a big deal in Texas.
Except we've had so much.
I don't want to burn the latex, so I am staying pretty far back. Watching for the shine to get knocked down on that paint.
It was the Hollywood Honker video Jenna just posted today. Gina. Let's see. Thought for sure he was about to start blowing on their heads with his mouth when he said he was going to speed dry them.
I'm full of hot air, but I'm not that full of hot air. Okay. Now let's go even lighter. And I'm going to use a drier brush so that it does.
Curious if the Hops have favorite YouTubers.
I do. I watch a lot of YouTube. I watch Izzy Swan, who is a woodworker. I watch English Forging Kid, Alex, I think his name is. I forget right now. And anything by Fail Army. Because I love fail videos. They make me feel successful. I have an unnatural love for fail videos. I will wake my wife up laughing at a fail video
No, I'll watch it.
on my phone. Now all these colors that I'm using are the ones I painted him with. So this is going to blend right in, and I have zero fear of that. Because I painted it in the first place. And I painted it this exact same way. And now that, I didn't use a lot of paint, so it'll dry up fast.
You should check out Jimmy DeResta's videos. He does
Oh.
awesome woodwork.
Yes. Now I used to watch me and Shannon used to watch Jimmy DeResta's TV show where he had one with his brother on one of those channels. But yeah, I watch Jimmy DeResta too. I do watch his stuff. He is a man after my own heart.
I love fail videos too, but I guess in my old age I find myself not able to watch the ones with nut cracking and other injuries.
Oh, they're the best.
The videos of yours that YouTube recommended was your recent carnivore video.
Oh, cool. Okay. They recommended a live. That's interesting. I thought it would recommend like a YouTube Wednesday video. I make a lot of stuff.
He built a beautiful toe pincher coffin.
Yeah, I mean, he just does good work. He does some weird stuff too that I don't understand. Like, watch his star key videos where he takes his keys, and makes like a ninja star out of it. Like, that would suck to carry in your pocket. But that's what he do. And I also watch a lot of tool restoration videos. I find that to be fascinating.
Ezekiel says, kids doing scorpions are the best video.
So, full scorpion. My favorite is a sliding full scorpion. They get in the scorpion pose, and they slide forward. Oh, that makes me so happy.
You do wake me up.
I do.
I love tool restoration videos.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, watching things get fixed is nice. Not people. I don't want no Dr. Phil. Okay. Now I have some pure white here. That pure white I'm going to mix over here with this gray. Now I've got a nice light gray. Don't want a ton of it. And dry brushing, it's all about feeling, how much is this going to change it? That's important. That's pretty well blended in.
Pask, P-A-S-K, makes is a good one to check out.
Okay, I'll check that out. And another woodworker is April Wilkerson. I watch her stuff quite a bit.
Any advice or pointers for myself that can't seem to sculpt more human-style teeth? I've used pumpkin teeth, but wanted more rounded off teeth, and I've started over about 10 times so far. There
is a YouTube video in the Distortion series that Mikey Rotella is actually teaching. Send me a message, and we'll send you a link to that video. But it's in the Distortions videos for mask making, and I will tell you, it is the best video on sculpting teeth I've ever seen. And now I really have to grind this brush to get the paint out of it. But that's how dry I want it. I want that to be an option,
I like the knife restoration videos.
Yeah, I will forge. I will forge and make knives one day. All right, so there's 2 more masks here that I could move forward with in hair, but I think that's a project for another day. It is 10:59. It's 11 o'clock. There are 55 people watching. I really appreciate it. Thank you for joining me and my wife on this Easter Sunday. It's almost like we got to hang out together. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting the channel in any way that you do. We did painted a Gravedigger. We haired a Gravedigger. We made a sock mask. We made the little tombstones. We decorated the hats. Yeah, so we got a lot done in the Gravedigger department, and there'll be more happening tomorrow. So you guys are awesome. Thank you, and go make stuff.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.